Sorry guys, there's so many things of me on here that I'm trying to balance right now. A lot of tabs open because I'm doing this solo right now, so it's kind of a lot. As you can see, I'm closing out tabs. Well, you probably can't see, but I'm closing out tabs right now so I can kind of see everything on my screen. Now, welcome everyone to, what episode are we on now? I think I put the 10th episode of the Shutter Larva episodes we do. I'm sure that's way off because we did quite a bit of Mando reviews and then we did some Shutter Larva before then. You will notice that this is your host, Awan Groundwalker, accompanied by none of my Shutterbugs co-hosts. Reasoning for that is neither of them could make it. Finn's going to try to pop by, hopefully, for a bit. This isn't going to be too long. But we did promise you guys every single week on Thursday some content, and so this is a part of that content. We should have a full-length episode going live tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, we are just doing a Shutter Larva. Mr. Groundwalker, how are you? Brian, I am very good. Thank you for asking. Cap lives, a loyal member of the Shutterbugs. In fact, if Brian has the time, I would love him to come on here to chop it up because... Again, this isn't going to be a long episode, but mainly I'm just going to be covering, just what's been going on and our future plans for the podcast, which isn't a ton, but there is a challenge coming out. I'm not going to say much about it yet, as it's still kind of in the works and getting its details ironed out, but we are planning on doing a challenge very soon, mainly to get our name out there again, but mainly also to kind of have some fun with you guys. Because it's been a bit since we've done one. So, Johnny's in the chat. Thank you for tuning in, Johnny, as well. Again, just me holding down the fort for the Shutterbugs right now for our weekly content, but hopefully tomorrow we'll have some stuff. I guess I can talk about hauls a little bit, since it's a Shutterbugs hangout and we're just kind of chilling and reading the chat and stuff. So, I got today in the mail, which I'm very excited about, this. It's a Boba Fett model kit by Bandai. Now, why would I be excited about that, you may ask? Well, I own the Mafex Boba Fett and the new Black Series Boba Fett. So I don't need another Boba Fett. What I do need, and I know Johnny's done this, and I actually had this idea before I saw your one you have, Johnny. I had this idea like a year or two ago, and I just never thought I'd be good enough to do it. Now that I'm working with an airbrush and like paint, model paints and stuff, I want to do it. But it's to customize my own Death Watch / just custom bounty hunter Mandalorian possibly out of this body because it's so much easier to paint and put together, and it's kind of like a blank slate almost. So that should be really interesting and really fun. I'm very excited to try that out. I don't see myself getting to this project for at least a week or two, mainly because I'm going to be occupied with the 3D printing stuff, which if you watched last week's episode of Shutterbugs, you know that I got a 3D printer. And I've been 3D printing a lot of Star Wars props. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I threw up a poll on there, and 30 people out of quite a bit, I'd say probably 100, I'll have to double check, said that they would like Star Wars prop packs, so I'm considering making them. It's still not a huge amount of people, but the thing about it is not just Star Wars prop packs. I want to make prop packs. This was something, if you guys have followed me for now at least a year, this was something I was planning on doing last year. I had this whole big idea on doing prop packs. I wanted to do, a set with like a barrel, dumpster, fence, all this stuff. I wanted to do prop packs, and I sold one. Like a test run, before I got into starting to do them. Everything's set up, and I just never got around to doing it. Not that a 3D printer would solve any of these problems, but now I feel like I have the motivation to really do prop packs to their fullest extent, and limited releases, like really like two sets of like each. So like, for example, if you saw my poll on Instagram, I said they could be themed prop packs, like Gotham City, Star Wars, like kind of like deranged alleyway. And what I mean by that is I could do like, this is something that would come in a prop pack, let's say. A Gotham City sewer grate for your diorama or whatever you want to use it for. A poster that has like some graffiti that the Joker did, like a red smile and stuff like that. And then maybe some other stuff, like one of like Joker's laughing teeth. I don't know. I would have to kind of spitball, but like it would have Gotham City themed props if you wanted that. Star Wars, you could get a barrel, a crate, a door, or a gonk droid or something. Like, it would be Star Wars themed. Unpainted or painted, that's a whole big thing. Probably painted, because I think people who buy prop packs want them painted versus people who just buy raw 3D prints want to do it themselves, and normally they're doing it like one per person. So that's that. So that's why I'm thinking, oh, Johnny just typed, in that custom is based off of Sideshow Mythos Boba, post episode 6, Desert, Vagabond Survivor concept, possibly canon or not canon at the moment. I thought you had another custom model kit Boba that was like a Death Watch. It was like a darkish gray blue. Am I wrong? You can correct me, but I have seen the Mythos Boba. People do amazing work with that custom, and it's actually pretty cool. Sideshow I know made it, which was pretty cool too. Oh, you typed that. I didn't see that. Anyway, cool. Going back to props. So, and then like a deranged alley would be like milk crates, spray paint cans, like crunched up posters and like trash, garbage bags, etc. And then I could do bigger prop packs with like an ice box and mailbox and like just bigger items, bigger ticket items, concrete barriers, stuff like that. So that's kind of the plan with the prop packs. And again, I had this plan last year. This did come into my mind that I wanted to do this, but I just never got around to doing it. And now that I have a 3D printer, it's allowed me to make so many more specific props that I couldn't make out of foam or wood or whatever I was working with. Specifically Star Wars, because I mean, I could not have made this Gonk droid, by myself with my own hands. And the cool thing is there's files that I can distribute. Now, of course, I would give credit to whoever makes these files, link the free file for anyone who wants to print it, but not a lot of people have access to 3D printers. Myself included until very recently, and I was paying for 3D printed stuff. I loved it. And not, saying everyone has to do that. People can pay, other people to, I want the skunk droids. There we go. Can pay other people to print stuff for them, or go to like a local library or something to print it. Like, it's not that big a deal, but I was just saying, like, it'd be nice to probably kind of give back in that way, and it'd be something kind of original and cool that I could do, because I haven't seen a lot of people do themed prop packs like that. Maybe like a one-time release of one, but I haven't seen it like as their staple of what they release, if that makes sense. So that's kind of flowing through my mind right now, is I would like to do that. The demand, not super there. I got, again, 30 votes yes. No votes no, but I got 30 votes yes, and a lot of people just kind of swipe through it. So I might do it like a dry test run, maybe like some unpainted Star Wars props like barrels and crates, and how, like, if those 5 of those or 3 or 4 of those sell out, then I'll know that actually people are serious about it, and maybe I'll start doing it, because I think it'd be really cool. And again, I'm trying to start making some more dioramas this summer to sell and for my personal collection, and sell some other ones as well. So that should be fun. And again, the 3D printer will hopefully help with that. So all good things. So that was something I picked up. I don't know how we transitioned to the 3D printer from the Boba Fett, but I'm very excited to work on that. That should be really fun and a cool kind of like custom character to shoot. Working on a Spider-Man shot right now. Nice, Brian. That's awesome. I just finished a Superman shot, and I just finished Invincible, by the way. I was a little behind on it because I was in LA, and I came back, and kind of stuff was just going crazy. And so I finally basically binged it, which I have read the book. Not the whole thing, like not all the trade. I gotta think. Issue 1, maybe 1 through 4 is how much I'll have to go back and look. But the point being is I finished the season 1, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. And I came down here after finishing the last episode, and I was like, I really want to do a Omni-Man inspired shot. But I don't have any characters that be that gruesome. Spoilers to anyone. Not spoiling too much, but like mimic that style. And so I just chose Superman, and the excuse his mind is being controlled, and did like the classic one that he does to Immortal, where he goes and cuts his head off. Not talking about a specific character at all here, but anyway. Point being, I probably spoiled that for anyone, but anyway, I did that shot, which I'm pretty proud of. You guys will probably see it tomorrow. I'll post it tomorrow. With obviously Superior Legends one. That's very funny, Johnny, very funny. Another thing I copped today, which the boys in the chat already know about, but I could show you guys anyway, is, let me grab it real quick, ladies and gentlemen. We got Clone Pilot Hawk. Hawk was not what I was going to find at Target today, but I'm very happy I got him because, again, member of the 501st Legion, I believe, and he's still a cool part of the Clone Wars. So happy to have him. Of course, I wish I found Echo. Echo's like my main one. I don't really care about anyone else, honestly. But I honestly might get all 4. We'll see. But then the Legends Villains wave's coming out, which I also found today, but I'm going to go back tomorrow and see if I can get it. And then all this stuff's going on hunting, which is pretty cool. But what I really wanted to talk about... Oh, no. I'm kind of here to hang out. I thought there was something I really want to talk about. I guess not. These 3D printed stuff, though, is pretty cool. I'll showcase it again, but again, unpainted versus painted. This isn't finished, by the way. I took a break for a couple days on doing the 3D printing stuff, mainly because my workstation was an absolute disaster. I mean, like, looked like a bomb hit it. There was like airbrush everywhere and paint and like dried stuff. It was awful. So I spent a day cleaning it again after I had painted these and a couple other stuff. And now I got to go back and mainly seal. Seal will be the last step, but I got to hand paint and touch up some spots, do a couple washes to like make the details really pop, accent it with some dry brushing like silver and some dirt and stuff like that, and then I'll seal it. So there's still some stuff to go with this, but it's getting there. I mean, just like this, I could definitely shoot it just like this. I mean, this looks pretty good. These were 2 failed prints I was sent the 2 barrels I painted. The other one looks just like this by 796 Studios. Good friend, and he sent me these when he had his 3D printer first, and he was just sending me some free stuff, which is pretty awesome of him, and this was one of them. However, now that I realize how the print's supposed to come out, it was a little, not defective, but it didn't come out right. I'm assuming just because he had the settings wrong or something, because there's a little bit of extra plastic on these little holes right here, and it actually went like all the way down this, and I ended up chipping it off. And I kind of try to smooth it with a Dremel and stuff. But as you can see, this is my 3D print. And not to say, like, 3D printing's better, mine or his. Like, this is just how it's supposed to come out in the file. And it's, like, it's very smooth. Very smooth. I mean, the line work is just great. And, again, on both, like, this looks great, too. I'm just saying, like, that's how it's supposed to look. I've done some really cool stuff. I can't show you guys all of it, mainly because some of it's fragile. Oh, there's only one thing that's fragile. I'm completely lying. Not the Gonk droid, but I really like this. I can't wait to paint this up. This will be a really cool prop to put in kind of displays. But the moisture evaporator I printed from New Hope / like, you know, honestly, it's really any time in Star Wars. I think they have moisture evaporators from Phantom Menace all the way to Rise of Skywalker. But you know what they look like. It's pretty tall, pretty big. Went to a lot of errors while 3D printing that. I think I had like the nozzle speed too fast, so it ended up like I'll grab it real quick, because why not? So this isn't the full thing. You can see there's parts missing all around here. That's because the nozzle was too fast. It was trying to print these, and it was just going so quick, it ended up tearing them off at the weak points. As you can see, I also got to do a bit of cleanup with these like little things on it. So I got to do that, and then this piece goes on it as well. This piece fell off the top, and then there's another piece that goes on it too. On that, it's like it's really thin. It's like almost like a pole, and then it has like little things popping out. So anyway, point being, this was a weird print, kind of printed weird, but I'm gonna touch it up for sure and glue it together and replace the parts that are missing with like wood dowels and just make it look really good. But that was a really cool thing I printed as well with the Gonk droid. How are you possibly thinking about bundling some of this stuff? I don't know is an acceptable answer. Bundling some of this stuff. Johnny, do you mean like the prop packs? Like, do you mean how am I gonna bundle it all together? Like what do you mean? I'm a little confused. And I don't care like what you mean. I just mean like, do you mean how am I gonna bundle it? Like, what am I including? Like, how am I gonna price it with like a barrel and a crate and this, or how am I gonna ship it? Like, is it gonna be safe? Like, what do you? Just out of curiosity, like, what do you mean by that? So I can clarify. But I don't know. This is probably the best answer right now. Yeah, so cool. Yes. That didn't clarify, Johnny. That did not clarify at all. So I'll wait for that. Anyone got any questions? I think we only have 3 viewers right now. Yeah, we do. But questions are always welcome. I can answer some like frequently asked questions, which you guys are probably like, how does he get frequently asked questions? You'd be surprised how many people hit me up and ask me this stuff. So I'll answer just some little stuff as one of the hosts of the Shutterbugs. Now, props. People are always asking like, where do you get props? How do you get etc. Like they're just wondering about props because props really make a display and they're really hard to find. It's not like finding a figure at a store. Although you can find props at the store, it's a lot harder to track down certain props and things that will fill your scene, etc. So 3D printed props are now kind of up and coming on the scene. I didn't really get into 3D printing props until probably less than like half a year ago, I'd say. When I was like, okay, I kind of want like 3D printed props look good and I can paint them and like they will be good. Answering question that just popped up in the chat. Brian said, "Are you getting Hush Catwoman?" Yes, I am. I have it on order from Ami. Should be here early next week. And I'll hopefully shoot up a review for that. That's the goal. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see. So, props. Now, 3D printing is a good route, and then there's your hobby stores. Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I don't know where else you would shop for those because I think there's a couple East Coast stores that also do props like that. You can find some there. Those aren't going to be as good as you would get from action figures. That's another prop category. Action figures often get you pretty far in props. So I'll show you guys one of my bins of props because this thing is quite amazing. A lot of the props I have that are 1/12 scale that I use almost in all of my displays that like you see a prop in, most of the time it's from Steven Fernandez. He's this awesome prop maker and diorama artist. He's just solid dude. And he made me a prop pack a little while ago. And so quite a bit of stuff in this is from that prop pack. Not all of it. A lot of it's other stuff I've printed myself or received. So, I mean, stuff from Hobby Lobby, stuff from action figures like cameras, like a police ID, newspaper, like beer bottle, books even are all like from action figures. Pizza box, NCIS files in here. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. Little phones and stuff. And then again, Steven did some of his stuff as well. This is my bigger one of like, this is just really like Hobby Lobby cheap stuff you can find. Like little pumpkins, Coca-Cola things, animals, fake money, stuff that I've made, tires, like sheet metal that I made, tack deck, miniature figures, like all of that's in this one. And then you have your bigger props, the props that most of the time you're gonna have to make yourself in a way. Here's the barrel I use quite a bit, which is completely torn up. This is not my best work at all. This is really old, like 2 to 3 years old. I made it a long time ago. I did not know how to sand at the time, so that's why the paint's peeling away. Kind of gives it a cool effect. I still use it all the time in my warehouse displays, but I do need to make a new one for myself because I have made a new one semi-recently, but I haven't used it, or I sold it in a prop pack, so I haven't used it in a while. This thing, again, cool little toolbox, came with an action figure. I don't remember which action figure, so I would probably, if I were you, hit up like Plastic and Paint or any like the Facebook groups to kind of decipher and see which one that came with. There's a ladder in here, WWE figures. Those also have some really cool props. Breakable tables, WWE. These like metal pillars made by myself out of foam. I made one red, one green, and then I made a wood one as well, which you can see right there. Miniature chairs, again, WWE. Little milk crates, 3D printed. Those are really cool. Barrel, I forget who gave me this barrel. I got it in with something. I don't think I made this one. Anyway, the point of this all is that it is very easy to get sucked up into the prop world. I have known, like for example, one of my co-hosts, Finn, which you guys all know very well. If you're watching this, of course you know him. He has a hard time buying props. He's not like me. I think Alex is kind of in between us. I love props. It's kind of like just as addicting almost as action figures sometimes. I'll stop collecting figures and go on like prop collections because props to me are like insanely cool. They're like miniatures of miniatures, if that makes sense, most of the time. And it really sells the scene. That's why I try to have so many props. It really adds to the realism of what you're shooting. You know, if you have a like let's say a Scream action figure, right? You need an indoor house setting to shoot that figure in. If you have that setting, a diorama, whatever, dollhouse, whatever, you need the props to fill that so it looks lived in. It looks real. You need miniature phones, clocks on the wall, pictures, rug, couch, chairs, sofas, cabinets. You know what I mean? Like you need the new little newspapers on the ground or on, you know, keys on a shelf. Like you need those little props so it looks like your photos actually like real. Oh my god, We got Brian. We're about to pull Brian in here, but let me finish this thought real quick, and then we're getting Brian in with me. So, finishing this thought, props make a display. So that's why I love props. I like go on little hunts of props that came with action figures a decade ago or more, or a couple of years ago, and I throw away the figure or I sell it or whatever, but I keep the prop because I love props. Finn can't justify that. He can't justify spending $30 on an old action figure to get like a suitcase full of money or like something really cool for a display, because it's a waste to him. So he buys figures instead. That's why we all have very different art forms, I guess, and styles. And Finn doesn't use a lot of props because he just can't justify spending that much. Alex loves to get props, but just can't really buy them himself. So he gets props or tries to find them, and sometimes he does buy them. But mainly, again, he loves to use props and loves to collect them, but he can't get them as much. And then, of course, I just get them all the time. Now, we're bringing Brian in. Let's do this. We're going to have to readjust the ratio here. Brian, you're in the mix. What is going on? If you're there.
Hey,
there he is. What a guy. Hold on. We're readjusting so we can fit you in the in our Hangout. There we go. Let's go. I think that'll work. All right. Transition that. There we go. In the mix. Brian Carter. I'm talking like Poncho, aren't I? God, what has the world become? Brian, how are you today?
I am doing great. Working on this Spidey shot, trying to find a villain for him to fight.
Nice. That's great. I was gonna shoot Spider-Man, and then I finished Invincible, and I just knew I really wanted to do someone to Superman's power capability and do some something kind of gruesome and funny, and I was like, I'll just do Superman because I have no one else that's like that capable of doing those kind of feats. You know what I mean? Like at least Marvel in my collection, I don't have anyone like just with their bare hand. Like of course you could do Thor with Mjolnir or almost honestly probably with his bare hand too, but Superman just fit the bill a lot better. So I just use his poison ivy comes with around his neck to explain the mind control. I'll tease it real quick in the chat. I don't know if you can see it.
People they'll go like, hey, Superman would never do that.
Yeah, exactly, but it's okay. It's quite fun. And then I have another idea. There's a prop that comes, which would be even more gruesome. I don't know if you can see it, guys, or Brian, but there's a prop. This is the Muppet Kitchen props in this bag. It comes with a ton of them, but it has this little piece of like a string of sausage. I don't know if you can see it right there. That could easily be like a part pulled out of a body or something, kind of like Mortal Kombat and Invincible-ish. So I might do something with Superman with that, like really gruesome. Just because, again, I have that Invincible like art style in my head that I really want to kind of shoot. So anyway, that's my plans for shooting right now. Pick anything up recently, Brian?
Pickups? Well, Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars figures.
Nice.
And I mean, since the last time I was on, I've bought a lot of stuff, but that's been a months of.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's hard to tell because I was looking through our older obviously videos, but it's definitely been more than a month because I was in LA for a month, and that was now almost a month ago is when I got back, I think. So basically almost 2 months, I think. So I got back the 26th and today's the 20th. So almost 2 months, which is crazy. It's crazy. So it's been a while. And again, kind of just talking to the general public of whoever's watching this here, we are sorry for, again, we have not been a consistent podcast, not by any means. You can tell because coming up on 3 years ago, we started the podcast and we're only on episode 21. So you know that, we have not been very consistent with our podcast, and that's mainly because we're younger people, and we all have very busy lives and school and such things, which I should have taken into effect when I kind of founded this podcast. But either way, we definitely want to start getting back to it. I think it's very manageable to do it once a week. I just think we never thought about just selecting one day, no matter if someone couldn't make it or could make it, because we were a little nervous about the guest system and how we compensate if no one could make it, just kind of like how tonight no one could make it. And so now Thursday became that day, 3 months ago? And then for a solid month, we were very consistent, having episodes every week, multiple episodes every week. We were our presence was pretty pretty prominent in that way. And then of course I went to LA and things kind of fell apart with our consistency. And now we're back. And hopefully it sounds like every Thursday we're gonna have pumping some content out. Which will be good. And then Johnny, I just saw your comment about the Storm Collectible Sub-Zero. What I used in that Superman shot were the Storm Collectible Scorpion, I believe from Mortal Kombat 3, those blood accessories, which are pretty cool. I know the company that does the Super Foodie packs made a blood pack that I still haven't picked up for whatever reason. I should.
Yeah, I gotta get that at some point.
Yeah, it actually looks really cool. There's there's a couple accessories in there too. I don't know about a bat, but I thought I saw like a hatchet and like some other stuff. So it's definitely gonna probably be worth it. I just haven't pulled the trigger because like, at least to me, I'll know about it, Brian, if you feel the same way, but I feel like ACBA hasn't really advertised this as much with their brand name on it. I haven't seen Boog advertising it as much, or really anyone in ACBA or anyone using the props that much. Where the Super Foodie pack was like everywhere, like. Artists were constantly using it. Boog was always shouting it out. You know, the ACBA Instagram was always shouting it out. So I feel like this just didn't get as much attention to me to where I felt like I needed it and like saw it and was like, oh, I need to get this. So
I think it's because that was like a deal, and this is not a deal. Like
this isn't
okay. Have the ACBA thing with it.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that. I thought we were still thought ACBA was still working with that company to make those accessories, so good to know. They still look cool no matter what. Did they do 2 packs or just 1? I thought I saw them doing another.
There's 2. There's another pack that's like an axe or something in it. And,
okay, cool.
Those look really cool too.
Yeah, I need to get both eventually. Again, I love props. They're the best, and effects and all that. So I need to hop on that.
I need to start getting into those. Like,
you
I think
do
like that and like monitors maybe and diodes or whatever you need now. Like figures, I mean that's not really like the main thing anymore for me. And then posing, I feel like I'm getting better at.
Oh,
so, like,
for sure.
Tackles like props.
Way better at posing, and yeah, again, diodes and props are like that's why Alex is having so much trouble right now. Again, another co-host of the podcast with shooting, is because he needs another dio. He's been working on the same stuff for years now. And he's so sick of it, and it really hinders his ideas and his creative flow. And Finn has like no props, next to no props. He's getting a little bit better, but again, like I was just saying, Finn can't shop for props. So whatever he gets either comes with a diorama or comes with a figure that he buys. He'll never just shop for props. And I don't understand it. I think it's because I'm a little addicted to shopping for props. I love finding new sets and dios and props and stuff like that to use. That's why this 3D printer has been insane, is because I've just been printing off props essentially. So I really love that. That's really fun for me. Yeah, really good. Well, I just got text because it is dinner time, ladies and gentlemen. Brian, I am so sorry you only came on for a little bit. It really sucks. But we are doing a full-length episode tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And then, again, this was just a hangout session, so thanks all for watching. Brian, I want you to plug everything you got going on right now so everyone knows exactly who you are and the amazing work you got going on. So tell them.
Find me on Instagram at cap.lives. Find me on YouTube at caplives. And then find me on the Dickheads podcast. And the last plug, you can find me on the Nerds Across the Galaxy podcast where we just talk Star Wars.
Exactly.
Should be reviewing the Bad Batch. That should be fun.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Brian just told you all first. In fact, a little plug as well. New Bad Batch episode tonight for you Star Wars fans, so stay tuned for that.
Yes.
We will probably discuss tomorrow. I don't know. So we did full-length reviews for The Mandalorian. We meant to do it for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Really stupid. We just never did. I don't know why. We should have. Bad Batch we're already behind on. We might pick it up and do full-length reviews, or we will just kind of tack it on to the screen time of a normal episode tomorrow. So I don't know what we're doing yet. Stay tuned for that. Again, you guys can follow me on Instagram, Awan Groundwalker. Follow this YouTube channel to basically enter on notifications to hear whenever the podcast is making new episodes, as well as my content on this channel as well. And then follow us on Apple Podcasts, where we also are releasing these podcasts every week. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you later. Peace out. And thank you, Brian, for being a part of this podcast.
No problem. This was fun.